welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a combination type video. One thing I'm going to go through is some empties and some reviews of what I think of some products I have finally finished up. And I'm going to be doing a mini declutter as well, and a lot of this is Boxycharm makeup. One of them is Ipsy and some other things that I've just kind of like purchased through drugstores or some deals that I've gotten that just didn't work for me. I'm kind of combining these two because I'm storing all of this in one big drawer in my beauty space here, and it is time to purge. So let's jump in. I want to go through some of these empties first because some of these things I know you guys have been waiting to hear back from me on, and I'm really excited to kind of like let you know my final thoughts on things. I may have like touched on these before. Now that these are totally empty, I'm excited to tell you what I think about them. I actually bought this in a 2-pack, so I already have this again in my beauty space, and I'm actually really happy I do. This is the Urban Decay All-Nighter. Yeah, kind of old news for a lot of you that have heard about this forever and a day, but I was late to the boat trying this, and I heard from Tati Westbrook, the Glam Life guru, that the Wet n Wild finishing spray was a really good drugstore dupe. So I was really excited after that because you guys know I love this. This is also an empty for me right now. I finished it up and I've traveled with it. I love it. I would agree. I think that this is a decent drugstore dupe. Is it going to be an absolute formula match? Well, no. I mean, this is Wet n Wild. This is Urban Decay. We're talking different monsters entirely, but they're both fantastic. And I've used them both up, and I wanted to be able to make that comparison for you because I think these are awesome. I even poured a little bit of this product into this bottle when I got towards the very end, and it was, I mean, so similar is kind of crazy. I really like this though. I'm glad I bought this in a 2-pack because now I have it still in my beauty space, and I've been using it now that we're getting into the warmer weather here in Florida, and I do have those humid days where I'm like, I want to keep my makeup on while I'm outside. This helps immensely. I really enjoy this. I also really like the fine mist on this. I do wish the spray was a little better on this, but I still really enjoy it, and I will absolutely repurchase this. I have not rebought this yet because I am using up a few other things in my beauty space right now, but I can't rave enough about these two. So if you can't afford this, which I totally get, this is a cha-ching price tag, this is just as good in my personal opinion. But what do you guys think? And as a shock to no one, 2 other empties I have are also Wet n Wild products. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Primer Water Spray. I bought this before Boxycharm lovingly gifted us with something that's not empty, the Smashbox Photo Finish Water Primer. Love this a lot, but I got this first and I wanted to use it. Now that I've gotten to compare these two, clear winner. I like this a lot more. This just doesn't have the same feel. It's a little sticky and the finish isn't the same. I really enjoy this though, especially in the summertime. I noticed I liked it, and I've been pulling it out again this spring and I'm liking it a lot. This is pretty much almost empty, but I'm going to be done with it because the spray on this started messing up almost immediately or really early on. It like gets clogged up here, so it starts spraying odd. So when I'm spraying myself, I'm like, I don't know, dodging myself without trying. So I think this is only okay. I'm probably not going to be repurchasing this, but I wanted to let you guys know if you do want to try a primer water and you can't afford the higher end Smashbox, I get it. I couldn't either. I tried this and this was okay. It's not bad. It's just not my favorite in comparison because once I got that in my beauty space, I was like, oh, I see the difference. And something else I have touched on before is the Mega Cushion from Wet n Wild. I really like this. Not only do I like this as a foundation in the beginning of your day for a cushion foundation, because I've not really tried a lot of those. I think this is really well, but it's superior for me for touch-ups. That halfway through the day, ooh, I'm looking rough, or ooh, I'm looking a little patchy. This is great for that. I've even had some days where I was like sneezy or emotional or whatever that I went back in with a sponge of some sort and touched up, and it really put all my makeup back together, did a little setting spray, and I was good to go fresh. My biggest complaint about this is I go through this so quickly. I feel like I don't like the sponge with it. I like to use just a regular blender. I feel like I go through this really fast. Even after flipping the pad that's inside of it, I feel like I clearly am going to use this much faster than I would a bigger bottle. So that's my only complaint about this. This is like my second or third product. This is like my last one in my collection. But I did want to say I do like this. I will be repurchasing it because I'm getting to that time of year where I like to slip something that is pretty compact into my purse. So that way when it is hot out, I'm getting those sunglass lines, or my face is breaking apart thanks to the weather here, I can adjust and fix myself with this really inexpensive but great product. Now I'm gonna do some declutter stuff because I didn't have too much to kind of go through with all these empties, but I've been storing these for a hot second. And now I want to get into some things that I either told you I did in a Shop My Stash I didn't like, or I've given not a great review for in my quarterly Boxycharm reviews, or duplicates in my collection. Let's just jump into them. This is the Covergirl Clean Matte Concealer. I put this in a Shop My Stash and I was like, not impressed. I'll put this in my eye drawer where I could use it for concealer for the eyes or something. I have my Wet n Wild for that I actually like better than this. Honestly, this is just storing space in my beauty space. I don't like it. I don't want to reach for it, so I'm gonna get rid of this. I don't think I'd buy this again, but I would try some other Covergirl concealers because I've really enjoyed some of their products. This one's just not it for me. I bought this and I did a video on it at some point, but it has been so long and I have not touched it probably since that video. I got a deal at, I think, TJ Maxx or Marshall's on the Stila Stay All Day Foundation, and I thought this was really cool because it kind of like pumps out of the top here, but because I got it at a TJ Maxx or Marshall's, you couldn't color swatch, you couldn't figure out what was going to work for you. This one's in the shade medium, and it is just way too orangey for me. Even in the dead of summer, I had a really hard time making it work a lot. And I didn't really care for the formula. Even on my hand right now, after I swatched it, it looks really, really cakey. It doesn't look like skin to me. This has not been my favorite foundation. And it has just been sitting in my top drawer here, and it's kind of bulky. It doesn't fit in my little container that I have for foundation, so it's in an extra spot, hoarding space. Tiny house. Tiny beauty space. As I've said many times, I just need to purge things that aren't doing well for me, or that I don't use, or that I don't like, and I just don't like this. It's gotta go. For the shade medium, I cannot believe how like orangey and deep it is that I couldn't even use it in the like fall in Florida, which is really just summer part 2. Could not wear it past like the hottest part of the year, and it just wasn't working for me. Could be a color thing, but I also just wasn't a big fan of the formula, really. All right, I got this at a drugstore at the end of last year, and I put this in a Shop My Stash going, oh, I wonder if I could make this work. No, we just need to get rid of it. This is the Jordanna Fabubrow little pencil here, and it has this little really bad looking brush at the end of it. This is too red on me. I don't like pencils. I was really hoping this would be creamier because I've really enjoyed the Jordanna brand in the past. This just didn't work for me, and I need to declutter this. I'm sitting here swatching it on my hand, and it's kind of like cakey and bits of it are falling off. I just think this was just a dud and just needs to be decluttered. Again, this is something else I've had for a while. What are you? Neutrogena Healthy Skin Smoothing Stick Light 02. I got one of these sticks because I saw somebody in a video use one like last year at some point, and I was like, I forgot about these kind of concealers. I should totally jump back into it. Let's try this again. I have not touched this, especially since I've gotten so many amazing concealers end of last year, beginning of this year, between the e.l.f. $5 Camo 16-hour concealers, my ColourPop No Filter concealer. I've got the Too Faced Born This Way concealer that I really enjoy. I'm not touching this ever, and it's just, again, getting moved around in that top drawer. It's just waste not, want not. Let's get rid of it. All right, now let's get to some of the Boxycharm items, and these are harder for me and are a struggle, but I've been keeping them and just moving them around in my beauty space. And as I've said before, I keep bringing in makeup every month and trying new things, that these things just aren't bringing me joy, or they're at the bottom of the drawer that I'm like, I'll try that again someday, and then I don't. All right, I'm gonna do the disclaimer that this has been something I've been struggling with for a while, so it's not like this is just an impulse decision to declutter it. I've tried several times to make this work, and a lot of you have told me you appreciate that I try to use everything in my beauty collection in my space, so I hope you can appreciate that I need to give this to a friend. This is the Cover FX Glitter Drops. I know a lot of you said you really like it, even if you have oily skin. I just honestly don't reach for it ever. It's not my jam. It's not my cup of tea. And it looks so cool right now in my monitor that I'm like, Nichole, why don't you ever use this? I've tried using it on my body and I don't really reach for it because of this Sol Janeiro liquid glow that I got from my Boxy Luxe last year. I love wearing this out. I think it does a beautiful natural shimmer on my body, whereas this is kind of messier and it transfers a bit more onto my clothes and onto my seats of my car and stuff, and this just isn't for me, and I keep trying to make it for me because so many of you have said you love it, and I'm sorry that I have some friends here now that I think would really enjoy this, so I need to pass the love on and give this to a friend. This is almost nostalgic for me because I got this in such an older box of Boxycharm, and I did a second round of this of trying makeup products that I didn't like, but you guys had told me in my comments at the time 2 years ago that you loved. So I retried the Temptu, and this was like a bronzer for your makeup where you could darken your makeup, but we were all so confused by it at first. But so many of you told me better ways to use it, like in foundations and in lotions, and I was like, oh my gosh, you were right. And this is one of the many times you guys totally helped me out with a product that I just couldn't make work. Now, it is now what I think I said about 2 years later. I don't see an expiration on this, but it is looking clunky and chunky, and I don't need this anymore. And I'm a little worried that it's expired. So this is definitely going to be going in the garbage, but I appreciate it, and it gave me such fun memories of when we were collabing, just my audience and I talking about ways to use makeup that we hadn't before. And this was so fun, but I used it as much as I could, and now it's kind of time to just let this go. It's really old. And I haven't really been using it because I haven't needed to as far as like foundations go or like a body bronzer goes now that I live in Florida and whatnot. But I have such fond memories of this product, which is so silly to say. It's like, this product makes me think of you guys, but it does. That's why I held on to it for as long as I did. But I have other things that I've connected with you guys on, so I feel like it's okay to let this go now. I'm gonna be sparkling for days now from that Cover FX, man. I can't get this glitter off. That's another reason I'm not the biggest fan of this, because I'm still a pixie right here. This Beauty Creations lippy is also something that I'm just going to declutter. I've tried several times to really enjoy it, but I just don't. Let's talk about this damn lip thing that's like messing with me right now. It is really, really sticky for a long time. I mean, I'm talking a couple of hours, but I just saw this while I was filming for you. There's a huge patch just gone. I'm thinking because of the stickiness and the transfer where my lips touch. There is a huge patch just missing here. This kind of like, it says it's a lip gloss. They call it a long wear matte lip gloss, but it really goes matte and it starts to pull itself off my lips and it gets kind of tight and it's a little patchy applying it, but then it like stays forever on this swatch, so I gotta get this off really quickly. It's just this weird formula that doesn't really vibe for me and ends up pulling on my lips right here in the middle, like after I've worn it for like an hour or two. And I have so many lippies right now in one of these colors that I'm just kind of like, I don't reach for you because I remember every time I've worn it, it's pulled right here in a weird patchy way, and then trying to reapply it, it never looks the same. So I'm just gonna get rid of this because this isn't bringing me joy, but I have plenty of other lippies that do bring me joy. And I gotta get this off before it stains. Oops, it's already starting to stain. Get off there, get off there. All right, I am going to give this away to a friend. I got this from Ipsy. This is Afterglow. It's a highlighter I just got, and lovingly, one of you guys had told me, hey, just so you know, you already have that highlighter. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. And it's from a little face trio that I've put in my Shop My Stash this month to decide if I want to keep this or not. This highlighter is just like, okay, and I did a count right before this video. I have over 20 highlighters here in my beauty space that I love, to the point that they no longer fit in the little like highlighter caddy that I have in my drawer here. All of my highlighters used to fit very perfectly in this, but now I have so many that I still love that in the surrounding areas of this, I'm like squeezing more makeup products in. So I am not in want of good highlighters, and since this one was only okay and I'm still like trying to decide if I want the bigger version, I'm gonna pass this little highlighter on to a friend of mine who I think would really enjoy it this summer. And the same is gonna be said for something that kind of hurts my heart a little bit, but it is this pretty Vulgar highlighter we just got in Boxycharm not that long ago. This is the Shimmering Swan Glimmers of BS. I just think this is an okay highlighter. It's not bad at all, but it's not amazing. And it's kind of bulky, and I just showed you a bit of my highlighter collection. I just don't need this because I don't reach for it compared to everything else in my beauty space. So there's no shade at this product at all. If I was just starting my beauty collection or didn't have as much as I've accumulated through Boxycharm and shopping and all the fun things that you get to accumulate makeup with, I would like it. But I don't, and I'd rather pass this on and see this actually get some love. So I'm gonna give this away as well. And if you're curious what I do with my makeup, like these kind of things, I'm gonna be gifting to friends. Other pieces that are kind of expired or really old, I'm just gonna toss. And some things will get donated if they're newer. Okay, this one's gonna suck a little bit, but this product kind of sucked in the last Boxycharm we got, and this was a variation, so many of you probably didn't even get this, but this is the Bodyography Bali Bronze Eye Pencil. I know that old school trick of like lighting it like with a lighter to get a better pigment from it, but I don't want to do that with something that I'm gonna put on my eye. I know that could totally work, but pencils just aren't my jam, and this formula sucks, but I also think this color doesn't work for my skin tone as much as I like a bronzy glow. This for me didn't even show up on my eyes when I did apply it, so I feel like this just needs to get out of my beauty space before I end up talking about it in a year that I haven't touched it in a year. You know what I mean? Like, let's get this out of here now so I can bring things in that I enjoy and have space for them. Guys, I feel like this is kind of like a hodgepodge video of Empties versus Declutter, talking about drugstore makeup or subscription box makeup, but that's kind of how my brain's working today, and I had all these things I wanted to get through to talk to you about. So thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me some things that you have either finished up or that you're decluttering as you're kind of doing your spring clean out. Do you do that every year? I feel like I tend to do that as I'm like, ooh, this year I'm excited for more eyeshadow palettes or blushes or highlighters or whatever it is, and I want to make sure things stay organized because I love doing videos for you, but if it gets chaotic in here, it's harder for me to put out better content for you. So if you are new here, I hope you take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button down below to see all of the fun, loud, weird, unique videos I put out every single week. Bye, friends. And I've even kind of like mixed and matched the two, like pouring a little bit into the other one's bottle when I got to the very, ooh. Oh my gosh. Give you whatever you want. Kind of wanted to give you a, this is totally empty, let's talk about it type top.